Hey everyone, this is Liberty and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, I am so glad you are spending some time with me today. And I wanted to start off this video showing you the little hike that I did this morning, and I also want to show you the two journals that I have for my nature journaling. Now this first one is a traveler sized notebook, and I'm using this as my field journal. So I take this out with me because it is a nice size, and I did decorate this. I did have a whole video on how I set this up and how I decorated it, but let me show you. So in the beginning of this journal, I do have a little folder, a little pocket folder that I put some of these pocket guides in there. So I have foraging and I have bugs and slugs, and this is my actual journal right here. So I'll take this out and show you. So this is my actual field note journal, and just because it's functional doesn't mean it can't be pretty. So of course I decorated it with some ephemera and some stickers, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to journal. I have been completely inspired by somebody else on YouTube. I will link her channel down below, but she is journaling with DeSylvie, and she has beautiful layouts, and she has given me so many great ideas on how to properly catalog the observations that you make in the field. So what I did with this one, I actually did a little watercolor on top here. I was kind of sitting down beside the stream, and I thought I would just do a little painting while I was there. And I did a little note taking of the actual walk itself. So I ended up putting the date, and this is one of the pictures that I took on the trip, just kind of an overall view of my hike. Now this is where we kind of get into more of like observation and cataloging the things that I've seen. Now as you can probably see here, I have some pictures on this side, and I am logging them over on this side of the page. So what I have done here, I have put the date, time, and location, species observed, and just field notes and facts. So I have over here, it says figure 1, which is a skunk cabbage. And so over here it says figure 1. So I put my date and time and my location, and the other name for the skunk cabbage, which is, I think it's pronounced Symplocarpus. And I just made some fun facts and some notes about the plant here. So I did this with each of the pictures in here. Now you can probably tell that the pictures down at the bottom look a little bit better than the ones up top here, trying to avoid the glare. But this is more of a Polaroid, and this is an actual photo that I printed from a printer. And I didn't have the best settings on my first camera. I'll show you just a second here. So for the Polaroids, I did use this Instax Mini 90, and I just didn't have the settings quite correct. As you can probably see back here, I could have made it much lighter. I just didn't do that. So a lot of my photos ended up being very dark. So I did use a couple of those pictures. I did use the skunk cabbage picture here, and sadly the Rosa multiflora. It's a pretty dark photo right there. So what I ended up doing is using my Canon Ivy. So I just printed from here instead, and those are the better pictures down here. So that's what I have kind of going on in my field journal. Again, I printed out all the photos on this side, and I put the date, time, location, the species observed, notes and facts. So I have a figure 4 is here, figure 5 is here, and so on. So that is my field journal. Now this is a book that I am going to keep in my house. So it's nice to come back and look at your findings from your field notes and go more in depth. So I'll just show you what I have going on in my journal from home. So I did put some stickers on the front of this. Of course, I decorated this. And I did have some old encyclopedias that I put some of the pages into the journal. I just think it looks really nice. And again, on this page, a little bit more decorations over here. So over here is my actual hike that day. I did print out a trail map from their website, and I wanted this to kind of look like an encyclopedia where there's some information on the side here. So I did make a line, just put some general information over here. And I added some stickers, of course, and then I put species observed. So on this one, I mainly observed 6 species, which is a skunk cabbage, the Rosa multiflora, a dryad saddle lichen, a bracket fungus, and a common gray moth. Now, as we move on to the next page, I wanted to show you there are various ways you can keep your journal. So I actually did a watercolor for these 3 right here. So I did the moth, and I did the caterpillar stage of the moth, and I drew some lichen on a branch. Now, I was afraid of ruining my actual journal, so what I did was I did my watercolor on a separate notebook, and then I pasted it to the inside of my journal. So I just wrote some general facts about the moth and the caterpillar, as well as the lichen. And then again, on the side here, I just added the species name. So over here, I actually added photos instead. So not everything has to be a drawing or a painting if you're not inclined like myself. So I actually just printed out some more photos from my Canon Ivy here. Let me get rid of that glare. And this was amazing. I wish I had a better scale for this fungus or this dryad saddle on the side of this tree. This was so big, it was bigger than a platter. So I got some pictures of that, and again, just added the species name, added some general facts about it, and just added some, of course, some decoration and ephemera. And then my last page, I wanted to show you that you can also just print some images from Pinterest. So this is all about the growth cycle of the skunk cabbage. And I printed this out on a sheet of paper, and I just cut each image out. And so I have the juvenile phase over here and the adult phase over here. So you can see from the seed to germination, to a young plant, to an adult plant. And again, with some general information about the skunk cabbage. And that is it. Those are my journals that I have for my nature journaling so far. Let me know down below if this is something you enjoy. I have been really enjoying going out on my nature hikes and observing and documenting the things that I see. All right, well, let me know down below if you have been on any type of nature hikes recently and where you went. And until next time, guys, cheers.